I wouldn't be doing, no fat chick from, the flag squad, but it's a new day, a new era of loneliness. Oh, God. Hello, ladies and gentlemen and friend people, I don't know, whatever the hell you are, listeners, to a new edition of TBD. I'm P.
And I'm the D.
Also known as E.T. And we're here today discussing the boundless and, of course, completely through composed and consistent universe.
Definitely. It's not like there's characters that die almost every episode and then come back for, no real reason.
And it's truly one of my favorite science fiction experiences. Aqua Teen Hunger Force, also known as Aqua Unit Patrol Squad 1, also known as Aqua...
something, whatever.
Yeah, Aqua...
TV show,
that was it. And then Aqua Teen Hunger Force Forever, which is its current incarnation.
And supposedly final, it was canceled by Adult Swim officials about halfway through the season.
Okay.
As they were making it. Which part of me really wonders if the final season was originally called Aqua Teen Hunger Force Forever, or if it's just the creators saying, hey, fuck you guys.
Fuck you guys.
Because I know that both of them wanted to keep the show going. Like, it wasn't up to them. It was more up to Adult Swim going in a different direction.
Oh, wow. Well, towards their shitty live-action bullshit.
Well,
I don't know.
I really like newsreaders, but other than that...
Don't think I've seen newsreaders?
It's a joke, like, Nightline type thing where it's a bunch of different, like, random-ass news stories where they have, like, a bunch of different comedians come in, and it's hosted by Alan Tudyk, and it's pretty damn good.
Oh, that sounds fucking incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I've
but
said
99% of the shit that's live action, just, like, why did you make this abomination?
Well, like, up until this point, I was going to say, like, I will literally watch Alan Tudyk read the goddamn phone book and pay money to do it. There's a short list of, like, 5 actors, and Alan Tudyk's on that motherfucker. And... But yeah, everything else that I've ever seen them do live action, like, just filled me with anger and sadness.
Even the Heart She Holler, which has Patton Oswalt in it, like, I absolutely love Patton, but I watched it late one night because it was on and I didn't feel like turning off the TV, which is how you end up watching half the Adult Swim shows for the first time.
Because, yeah, you're bored and you're waiting for the shit you actually like to come on at 2 a.m. right before the repeat starts, and you're like, come on! And then you just watch, like, that's how I watched the first 3 seasons of Tim and Eric until I was like, wait, I don't enjoy this.
Yeah, I've heard that there's parts of it that are good, I just don't want to wade through all the bullshit.
That's the thing. Like, Tim and Eric is either, like, pure nuggets of, like, wonderful, delicious gold, or it's the other kind of nuggets. The poop nuggets. And you try to sift through them, and there's so many poop nuggets. But I mean, I do have to say, like, I have to give them props. Like, they have incredible technique. They are able to make some of the most unpleasant fucking things, like, specifically and with extreme skill that I've ever experienced. And, they have things that still pop up in my brain, like, continually. Like, I can't make it go away. Ever.
Well, I'm sorry. I mean, especially with the lead up to that, it sounds like you're trapped in a nightmare of your own creation.
Partially mine, partially theirs,
But yeah, up until the recent cancellation, Aqua Teen was the longest running show on Adult Swim. It's been around for 15 years, 11 seasons. Over 130 episodes. I think the exact number is like 139 or something like that.
Nice.
Plus, of course, the feature-length film. There's literally more Aqua Teen than you can watch in a day. There's more than 24 hours of Aqua Teen.
You shitting? They've actually gotten that far?
They have.
Dude, that's amazing. Because I used to just bomb through. I periodically, turn off all of my communication devices and... get horribly intoxicated.
Go into the hole and just become Carl.
Yeah, essentially. Carl's up there in terms of, potential candidates for my spirit animal with, you know, goddamn Wario and shit like that. You know, Wario and Carl kind of like guide me. I feel like one's the angel and one's the devil, you know.
I don't even know which one
is which. You know, one of them is just calling me to hard rock and the other one is calling me to wah! And, you know, either way, like, I'm into it. I'm way into it.
I mean, I guess that's fitting, too, because, I mean, you can also think about, you know, those two influences being, like, the two sides of the same fucking coin, essentially.
The two faces of Janus.
I mean, if you're talking about it from, like, the biblical perspective, you're talking about a fallen angel versus a fucking actual angel.
No, this is true. This is true. But which one fell? Which one gained the power? I kind of like the idea of Carl as the angel.
I kind of like the idea of Carl being the devil, simply because, like, he had, like, the childlike innocence, and then his father was just such a fuck up. I mean, I was watching
Burma, you know, that's an industry term.
I was watching that fucking episode last night.
You can't eat carpet. Well, not like that. You gotta boil it first. Merry Christmas. Yeah, you know, I definitely remember eating carpet, but the lasers and the robots, not so much.
Awful character, but I fucking love the cybernetic ghost of Christmas Past. Thousands of years ago.
Yeah, you know, I think I'm gonna go get snacks. Oh God. I'm kind of sad that it got taken off the air then, because I figured that they were just finally fucking tired of making that shit, because they'd been doing it for so long. But that makes me sad, because, like, it is a tentpole of that network, and the original kind of humor that, like, at least in my opinion, made that shit great. Because, like, it's the only one of them that's still around. I mean, like, C-Lab 2021 definitely had its failure moments, but I still loved it. I loved a lot of those, like, early run shows. And, you know, Aqua Teen still really held to the same form. And while there definitely was, like, a dip in a couple of the middle seasons where I wasn't enjoying it as much, like, all the new shit that I've just watched was, like, on fucking point. Like, I absolutely loved, and I did not see the Angus Young coming. My God. To anyone listening to this who has not seen the episode, there's an episode with, like, a Dora the Explorer themed porn, like, horrible thing. It's a miserable episode about terrible things. Oh God. Just terrible.
There's nothing fucking
things.
jubilant about her.
Hey, I'm Gypsy, the GPS, you know, you stay the fuck away from me. Yeah, you know, it was all natural lighting while she ate that dog food. I'm really proud of that. I don't know what you're doing, but it's genius, you know, keep doing it. It changed my life. There's a point at the end.
You got the lights? Yeah, the one light that works is on.
The headlight. Carl at the end bursts in with the hope of being deflowered because poor Carl don't never get none. And decides to make himself seem younger by doing a full Angus Young, I guess, let's say, cosplay. And let's say it's glorious. So, plugging Adult Swim, any of you out there who enjoy Aqua Teen, you know, you should watch that episode. I think it's called, what the fuck is it called? It's called a thing.
Knapsack, something.
Knapsack, yeah, just Knapsack.
It's just Knapsack.
It's just Knapsack with a fucking exclamation point. I don't know. It does make me happy that it lasted this long, though.
Yeah, I mean, 11 seasons, 15 years is a fucking long time. Mm-hmm. And you talk about, like, flagships of it. Like, I didn't have cable when it first came on. So, like, the two things that I really remember from, like, my first experience of Adult Swim were Aqua Teen and Robot Chicken.
Oh, fuck.
And yeah. Robot Chicken's still totally around, still kicking ass. And I hope that will be for a while, because, I mean, you know, I love some of the new shit. Like, I love fucking Mike Tyson Mysteries, as fucked up and weird as that show is.
Genius.
I love Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
So it's got some good new shows that it's still moving forward with. But, like, at the end of the day, sometimes you just want something that you can kick back and enjoy and recognize. And yeah, they've got shows from other networks. They've got fucking Bob's Burgers. They've got fucking Family Guy, American Dad. But it's not
Futurama, the same that they've always. Did they sell Futurama?
I don't
did they
think
finally take it off?
Futurama any.
They
cycle through shit that they have licensed to. I mean,
that's true.
I turned on Adult Swim, I want to say like a month and a half ago, and they were fucking showing Harvey Birdman again.
Yes!
So, I mean, they just rotate through that.
No, I mean, and that's one that, like, I just think Harvey Birdman should get a hell of a lot more love than it gets, because that show is, in my opinion, like, the best, like, just the most precise comedic timing of anything I've ever seen. Like, they just have it down mathematically to such an incredible T that, like, you just have, like, rapid fire punchline. Like, the, what the fuck is it? Yeah. Careful, Birdman, he'll get us all whacked! Bodies in a wood chipper. Minty. Like, that whole thing, every time, like, plays in its entirety in my head every time I experience it. But I definitely know what you mean, is that, like, a lot of the newer stuff that they're doing is a lot less of the, like, easy sit-down kind of stream of consciousness. I don't have to, like, my brain didn't have to work hard. You know, shows that they used to be, and that was part of the joy, was that you could just literally, like, you know, at least for me, you know, sit there giggling with, you know, a shitty acrylic bong rocking back and forth while being like, why are you doing these silly things? Ho 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 ho. BillyWitchDoctor.com. More comfortable working with chicken.
Ultra mega chicken. Shh,
no,
he is legend.
So fucking good. But it's kind of funny because, yeah, my initial the way I got exposed to Adult Swim was that when I turned 13, my parents let me change the channel off of PBS for the first time, and I was exposed to a whole new world of madness, and I started watching some stuff, you know, here and there. I apologize. We have the ghetto birds here, you know. We got them police helicopters. You know, I had taken to mooning them, but, you know, then they, you know, started showing up with nightsticks. Well,
I think they're just looking for Aqua Teen Hunger Force because they've been reported missing.
Of course. Oh God, they're kissing. That whole shit. Wait, didn't we already do this plot in the movie? But like, I
fucking hate Oglethorpe and Emery. I'm sorry.
They are like love Emery and Oglethorpe.
My least favorite, like, recurring to semi-recurring characters in that show.
Well, because, like, I just watched Space Caduce, or Spaskadoose, I guess would be how you pronounce it, because of the Spaskadas. But, like,
Don Ron John.
That shit was so funny. And I loved Spaskatas. Like,
for sure.
All of those bits of them versus the Moonanites were
well,
so
I absolutely
fucking
love the Moonanites. So I love them, like, every time the Moonanites just shit on them because Oglethorpe and Emery continually fail.
Oh, yeah, they're bad.
Which is part of why I hate them. I also, fucking Oglethorpe in general just annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah, you want to drown him, like, approximately 10 times
Emery,
an episode.
like, I get the feeling that he's not as terrible, but, like, he's just such a little beta bitch that, like...
Well, and I feel like he's just so high all the time, he just doesn't try, and he's like, okay, Thorpe, it's cool. Like, they reference that in at least one episode, that they are just completely stoned off their asses the entire time. That's, like, a part of their character, since, you know, all of these characters have such rich reasons for being the way they are. You know, we all know that Rabot has a tortured childhood under Dr. Weird.
Until he became part of the super group of evil. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
That fucking episode is so key. So choice. But yeah, like, when I first started watching, I was 13, and I'm, like, flipping channels for the first time, and, you know, I was an insomniac, so I was up all night, fucking every single night. And my parents were, like, 2 rooms over from the living room where there was the TV. And so I could watch to a certain point in the evening, and then they'd, like, come out and be like, go the fuck to bed. But I started, you know, watching a little bit of it, because they had, like, Family Guy and Futurama. And I'd seen Family Guy before, like, at a friend's house. I'd seen Futurama before at a friend's house. And then I started, you know, watching more. and watching more because I wanted to wait for more to come on. And I was like, well, what are these other things? And when I was 15, my whole family basically moved out of the house and left me the entire house to myself because there were renovations going on, but they didn't affect my bedroom. So I had the house to myself from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m., which is really bad when you're an insomniac teenager. You know, especially because I hadn't discovered drugs yet. I was literally just, like, up all night, like, and watching shit. And I have to say that, like, at the beginning, I fucking hated Aquatine. Like,
I can totally get that.
Yeah, it took me, like, chugging a very large cup of Aquatine every night when it came on for, like, several months before I enjoyed it.
It's stupid and zany, and you have to really find a way in. Like, I was lucky when I saw it because I knew friends who had watched it, and then, you know, I caught it on TV and things. So, like, I had an encapsulated raw viewing, and then I had, like, friends who'd seen episodes and were like, oh, you should check this episode out, you should check that episode out. And there's certain fucking episodes that, I'm not going to say they appeal to everybody, because it's pretty fucking hard to do that.
Yeah.
But there's certain episodes that are just fucking hilarious. Like, I know friends who haven't really delved into Aquatine, but have been showed the episode Hand Banana.
Oh, yeah.
And have never fucking looked back. I mean, another great character who is terribly fucking off. They have, this is what they do. They make horrible characters that are excellent. There's no other way to describe them.
And that's the entire point of the show, is this horrible excellence. And that's, like, I mean, I think that there's specific, like, gateway episodes for people to be able to start getting into the humor, like Hand Banana, like, even, as you said, like, people who don't watch the show, you can quote Hand Banana, and they go, Hand Banana!
Tonight,
you basting that turkey, time to take the temperature, see if the meat's just right. What's that? Hand Banana, no! I'd like to see him try to rape me now because I filled every orifice of my body with wacky glue. Carl, I don't know if that's a good idea. What's that? I can't really hear you. I said I filled every orifice of my body with wacky glue. Hey, maybe you got some water? My throat's really dry. You know, I put a bunch of wacky glue in there. So good. But yeah, I mean, like, it is also a very, very, very particular flavor. It's like, Marmite or Vegemite. You know, like, you gotta eat a bunch of it and get used to it. And some people never like that kind of sour.
The whole quote-unquote acquired taste thing.
Yeah, like, I
like blue cheese and anal sex.
Yeah. Wow. That's brilliant. I never actually, those are two great examples of acquired. I was always into blue. Well, no, I wasn't, because, you know, I wasn't into Gorgonzola, and that's another one of those bold cheeses, and I had to get exposed. No, you're absolutely right. Like, oh man, I'm going to steal that if you don't mind. That's perfect.
No, by all means.
Yeah. And anal sex is definitely an acquired
douchebag like Trump and be like, no, I'm going to copyright that shit.
Yeah, we're going to copyright this word. We're going to copyright that word. I don't know if you saw the meme going around with Trump digitally altered to look like a Ferengi, which said Trump for Grand Negus. And I almost pooped myself when I saw that. I very much enjoyed it, which I understand that pooping yourself is not usually a sign of enjoyment.
Well, but, it's one of those things when something's taken to the nth boundary that you just lose all control. I mean, it's on the same level as laughing yourself until you start crying hysterically. You know?
This is very true.
It's just doing something until you lose all bodily function.
Yeah, because, your body cannot keep up with the wonders inside of your brain. Yes.
So, you mentioned that you had a problem with some of the meta episodes, especially the live action one. And I have a theory. The reason you have so much of a problem with the live action one is you wanted to be Carl, and they wouldn't let you be Carl.
I mean, I sent a lot of letters. I sent video samples. I sent audio samples.
You tried to Whoopi Goldberg them?
Yes, I did. I did everything I could. I offered to sweep the floor of their offices dressed as sexy Carl. I car washes, like the whole 9 yards. Carl washes.
Yeah. I'm Carl Brain.
Yes. Oh God, the Carl wash. But yeah, no, I mean, I did dress up as Carl for 3 consecutive Halloweens, 2 consecutive Halloweens.
I think I was only around for 1 or 2 of those.
Okay.
But I am aware that you have done Carl.
Yeah.
You've gone past just imitating him and, paying homage to him and living your life in accordance with the great Carl in the sky.
Yeah, gonna live in the woods and eat with sticks. Yeah, no, this is America. We use utensils, but they're in the kitchen, so no harm, no foul. Granola girls, they'll do anything to save the earth or for shelter.
But yeah,
I love Carl.
One of the weird problems that I do have with that episode is that T-Pain is Frylock. And I still don't understand how T-Pain was a thing. Like, your claim to fame bringing the auto-tune back into the mainstream is not a good thing.
Yeah, it's like your selling point being like,
I can't actually sing.
Yeah, or like, hey, come to my restaurant on Interstate 10. We have more cases of food poisoning per year than any other diner within a 4-state radius. Like, no, I'm not.
Sometimes that's what you're looking for.
I guess. Some people like that horrible, rotten flavor.
You get that feeling of binging and purging without actually having to purge.
No purge effort on your part.
Yeah.
It's auto-purging.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't want to stick your fingers down your throat or, drink that bottle of Ipecac.
That is like a whole new marketing scheme, dude. Whole new marketing scheme. Self-purging food. You just put a tiny little bit of botulism up in that business, not enough to kill them, just enough to make them violently ill for weeks. And then, it's perfect for all those people who want to,
It's the new diet fad out there. It's almost as good as South Bronx Paradise.
South Bronx Paradise! This is Parasite, Carl. Parasite. Yeah, you see, I actually eat more than I want to when I'm hungry, and I supplement that with 4 to 6 of these bars per day. Oh God.
Fucking weight loss contest. Yeah, I win.
I love that shit so much. But part of my issue also with a lot of them, like, I enjoy that there's a little bit of meta in the show, like, pretty much continually, like, especially after, like, the 3rd season or so, they started straight winking at the audience, being like, we all know this is ridiculous bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, suck it up. Get your balls up. But, like, I just didn't, like, none of the jokes land for me in the meta episodes. And the episode 100 is, like, the one kind of exception.
Okay.
I was okay with the episode 100. It wasn't my favorite, but, it did okay. But, yeah, like, especially, like, the live-action one, I watched it, and I normally love H. John Benjamin. I just didn't... It was so bland and so, like, going towards... Again, it was like the Tim and Eric, like, awkward, nothing's happening kind of humor. And I was like, well...
It's definitely not my favorite episode. I like the end of it when it goes back to the animation. And I mean, again, you mentioned H. John Benjamin. I love him. And, like, pretty much he's in, I will either enjoy or at least give a pass to. Like, I really, like, I'm not a big fan of Archer or Bob's Burgers, but I've watched a number of episodes specifically for him to try and get into.
I feel, yeah. Have you seen the crossover episode?
No.
Okay, that's pretty choice. There's like one episode where Archer gets massive amnesia and winds up going to work making burgers at the boardwalk.
Wow.
He thinks his name is Bob. And has children.
Well,
it's fun. But I can definitely understand that because I have a similar love for H. John Benjamin, and I give pretty much anything. Like, I really enjoy some episodes of Bob Burgers. I really don't enjoy other episodes of Bob's Burgers, but Benjamin's performance is consistently a high point for me. And
well, again, he's just another one of those people that like he's got one of those personalities and one of those voices that like I can't necessarily put it in the same ballpark as other people, but for whatever reason, it's kind of like pleasing and soothing.
Well, there's that, soothing nature to it, and the way, like, his entire style, especially of voiceover, is so unique. Like, there's a wonderful interview with Doc Hammer and Jackson Public, who did Venture Brothers, where they're talking about working with H. John Benjamin as the master, and excuse me, that had to come out. That one too.
They were both
Steel Reserve and cheesy garlic bread Lay's. People, don't combine them.
Don't live my life. You wouldn't like it. You couldn't handle it. If you were from where I was from, you'd be dead.
You have no idea where I came from, what I had to do to get where I am now. I don't even remember what were we doing here.
Talking about H. John Benjamin.
And apparently he follows a very particular arc while he's recording voiceover as he gets increasingly drunk as well. Where at the beginning, he's literally reading the lines directly off the script, which is generally what you're supposed to do. But like very directly, very woodenly, with like no real like feeling or affect. And slowly over the course of the shoot, he gets further and further away from the script and more inventive until the final takes, he literally is not reading the script at all and is just ranting and extemporizing. So they talked about the fact that working with H. John Benjamin is great, but you have to find that middle zone. There's always like a few takes in the middle where you're like, that's gold, that's gold, that's gold, and everything else is fucking unusable. Yeah. Because he has that wonderful, unique combination of the like off-the-cuff wit and still hitting all of the major points so that it connects.
And I heard very much the same thing when he was working on Home Movies. Matter of fact, it would be the point that, like, he hadn't even read the script prior to going in. So he'd have no idea what the lines even were. I mean, and that's potentially the case with fucking Venture Bros.
Some of it as well. But, no, I mean, like, Home Movies had that as part of it, was that, like, especially I think the first 2 seasons were 100% ad-libbed. Like, they didn't actually have scripts. They had, like, scene outlines. And it's so perfect for that. It's just throwing Coach McGurk.
How do we fix this problem?
Oh, God.
It's a whole nother can of worms.
That's true.
I think that's, you know, both very much Venture Bros and Home Movies are stories for another time.
Well, true. One final tiny little sideline, and I do apologize.
You always have to have the last word, don't you, Patrick?
I'm sorry. Just call me. What's the name of the angel that ends the universe with a word? Is it the fourth horse fit? The seventh seal? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
It's the seventh seal.
My God, the earth cracks with its rage. Balancing the earth on its nose and then just spiking it into the ethereal seas.
I would love that if there was just a giant cosmic seal out there.
Slowly swimming towards us, ready to lay the smack down. But I think it's also, like, as you were saying, like, it's perfect for Home Movies and it's perfect for, like, Venture Brothers. And I also thought it was perfect for, especially dovetailing with Adam Reed's style, of having those built-in, like, small in-jokes that slowly snowball into more and more and more and more and more over the course of multiple seasons. And that's one of my favorite things about Adam Reed's writing, and part of why I loved the combination of him and H. John Benjamin in Archer. But sorry,
it's totally understandable, and like I know you love pretty much everything he's done. Like you love C-Lab, you love fucking Frisky Dingo, you love Archer.
Yes.
I'm sure he's done other things too, but I know those
the
are the main
Extacles.
three.
That's basically it.
Oh, okay.
I think he might have done
Glad
one
I covered our bases.
And the Extacles was 2 episodes, and that wasn't very good, other than the rapier ape joke.
But one definite common factor between both C-Lab and Aqua Teen is Chris Ward, better known as MC Chris.
Yes!
Who is, of course, yes, the iconic character in C-Lab of Hesh, who has such complicated lines as Hesh wants sex.
Yes.
And MCP Pants, whatever the fuck incarnation he's in. Whether he's a
Lil
fucking,
Brittle.
Yeah. Whether he's some sort of humanoid, whether he's trying to become a Dracula, whether he's...
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, and then we take the money from that haunted house and we buy more psychedelic mushrooms. More. Well, you know, I took a bunch already.
Oh my God, I can't get that stupid song out of my head. All I can think about is eating candy.
Well, I love... MC Chris is a very, very, like, he's a little bit of him goes a long way. He's like, he's like a strong curry powder, you know? You want to use just enough on the roast chicken. And if you do, it brings out all the other flavors.
Oh, I still love the story of how he got discovered. Is he was just chilling at a bar and drinking, and there was somebody there. I forget if it was from Adult Swim specifically or if it doesn't matter. The conversation that went down was like, hey, you're really annoying. How would you like to be on TV? Which is...
beautiful.
Yes.
It's fucking beautiful. I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Well, that's perfect with his whole aesthetic, because it is that just, like, in-your-face fuck you. And I do have to say, his rant on Kingdom Hearts 2 versus Resident Evil 4 is, like, truly one of my favorite things ever released. Like, the zombies coming up the hill right now. Or zombies in the room. His axe is on fire. He killed your parents. Shoot him in the head. Shoot him in the head. This ain't no cutscene. Press A. Press A. You ain't got time to smoke a bowl. President's daughter's been kidnapped. It's up to us. Like, just so genius. And as someone who loves both of those games, I can definitely accept his criticisms of, you know, Kingdom Hearts 2. It's all anime bullshit in the back alleys. Their hands on their hips.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
I am still looking forward to the next Kingdom Hearts game, though.
But hell yeah.
Again, that's a whole new...
Yeah, another topic for another day. And as I said, I love Kingdom Hearts. You know, I don't know.
I mean, I don't think pretty much anything is black and white.
Yeah.
You know, nothing's truly good and nothing's truly fucking bad. Like, there's some things that get pretty close to being pretty fucking bad. Like, you know, breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah. There's things that are pretty close to universally terrible. Saul of the Mole Men comes to mind. I never enjoyed one single iota of Saul of the Mole Men. And the 3 episodes that I watched are a black pit inside of me that refuses to be filled. No matter how much alcohol I pour into it.
I'm sorry. But branching off the Chris Ward, MC Chris thing is, I love the amount of guests and variety of guests.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like, especially the quality of musical guests, too. Like, I mean, they had fucking Ted Nugent, fucking Glenn Danzig.
Yeah,
like,
was it actually Danzig in the Danzig episode?
It is Danzig in the Danzig episode.
Oh, that's amazing. Because normally I fucking hate Danzig, but it's great that he had that much of a sense of humor about himself.
Yeah, there's always things that, like, I mean, again, going back to nothing is truly black and white. There are those songs that he did with the Misfits that I absolutely love, and you know, there are times when I just have Mother stuck in my head for like hours.
I mean, you can't really get rid of Mother. Like, Mother is like a fucking hard rock masterpiece. I mean, also all of his lyric art and album art ever is like Nazi zombies conquering the world, and it's like Danzig. It's Danzig. No, none of us want this Danzig.
I'm not gonna reject that offhand, because there've been a lot of great things that have been done with Nazi zombies.
There's a lot of great things that have been done under the leadership of Nazi zombies.
I'm not saying that they should conquer the world, but like, I mean, you think about the what was it, the haunted world of El Super Visto?
Okay, yeah.
Great fucking example
I thought it was
there.
the Ghostly Adventures.
I think it's the Haunted.
It's El Super fucking Beast. Yeah,
that's the important part of it.
Yes,
but they were great in that. You've got
but it's also
Dead Snow, which I really enjoyed with Nazi zombies.
I desperately need to see Dead Snow. I haven't checked it yet.
There's Dead Snow, and there's also Dead Snow 2 now.
Oh yeah, where they come back to kill the zombies.
Which I've only seen the first Dead Snow, and I haven't seen the second one.
For sure.
There's Hellsing, which I absolutely enjoy. The anime.
Oh, okay. How does Hellsing connect?
There's totally Nazi zombies and Nazi vampires in Hellsing.
Oh, that'd make a lot of fucking sense.
The later arcs, yeah.
Okay, because I've seen part of the abridged, and I literally just saw.
I'm
Nazis. Yeah. See, I saw that scene and just about peed myself. So that makes sense. Yeah.
There's a reason for that basis.
No, I was tripping for a minute because, I haven't actually seen the whole show, and, most of the time when people say Hellsing, I immediately associate it with
Van Helsing.
The Hugh Jackman film, and which I saw in theaters on my bicycle when I was young, and it was a waste of my $12.
I'm sorry. Did you go up to Hugh Jackman and be like, I want my money back?
Give me my family back. You're 13. I want my family. Those $20 bills that I spent on the movie and popcorn and the second popcorn because I was fat, and then the hot dog, the soda. But yeah, they were dark times.
Movie prices even at that time that would have been like $30, Patrick.
Yeah, I know.
They rape you on concession prices.
It was bad. I saved up my money and went alone to the theater all the time because I had no friends. Same reason I watched fucking Chronicles of Riddick by myself in an empty fucking movie theater with 2 extra large popcorns.
I've only gone to the theaters alone once, and it was back in 2009 when I was up in Seattle, and I was like, hey, I'm bored and exploring downtown again, and fuck it, I'll go to the movies. And I saw Observe and Report by myself.
Oh, God.
Which I enjoyed, but
was it actually enjoyable?
There are parts of it that are really fucking just straight downers, and there are parts of it that I enjoyed.
Word.
But I've had very limited experiences of going to the movies by myself, and I hope to keep it that way. So I'm sorry that you had a childhood that was filled with them.
There's this kind of stubborn, it brings the Pink Floyd line to mind. Hanging on in quiet desperation is the English way. It's kind of that where you're like, this it's something to do with I'm going out on the town with my friend's popcorn and extra large Diet Coke.
They will fill the void within me.
I'm going to get Cold Stone afterwards and pretend I'm here with my friends.
It's been so long since I've had Cold Stone.
It's really good.
Get Cold
it's
Stone
just
after
so
this?
expensive. Yeah, I could actually kind of get behind that. I mean, I'm gonna have to recheck my finances because shit is skinny right now.
For sure.
But yeah, I'm theoretically down. Cause dude, I miss that shit. Shit is good. Still, it used to be a tradition for me is I'd go to the movie theater and there's the Cold Stone right next to the movie theater. And there's the islands. Yeah, and there's the islands right next to the movie theater. So it was still Pacific before it turned into fucking ArcLight.
Right.
This is at the Pasadena, Paseo, Colorado again for all you diverse listeners across the United States who totally aren't one of the 12 people who are going to listen to this.
We could have people outside the United States too. You never know.
We could hit it big. Yeah, Pasadena, California, suburbs of Los Angeles. Essentially, I for a long time because I went to a birthday party there. That was we went to Islands, and then we went and we saw the Two Towers as a group, and then we went to Cold Stone. So again, during my solo jaunts to the movie theater, if I had enough money accrued from the weird shit I did in grade school to get money, I would go to Islands and get
I'm
the
sure
bottomless nachos.
Whatever is the story behind that is tame, but it sounds bad just because the way you phrased it.
No, understandably. I made jewelry.
Okay.
I also stole a lot of money from people. I hated everyone at my grade school, so I had essentially no guilt. And I've looked back on it later and been like,
"You didn't need to actually tell me."
I was
just pointing out the fact that it sounds a lot worse.
Sounded very like child prostitution.
Yeah. I knew Jared Fogle a lot back in the day.
Hey, he used to come over, him and his brother, his second cousin, and I gave him the full Rochambeau. I bear myself to you, Etienne. Look at my sins. Look at my sins. No, I actually did know a girl who went out to school in Nevada, and apparently, like, all of the people at her grade school, like, did, like, straight prostitution.
That's
like
fucking terrible.
To other kids, like, at the school, but, like, still mega gnarly. Like, she was telling me about that, and I was like, dude, that's something.
No, it happens. I've heard stories of people who, like, went to school without any money and then be like, I need to feed myself today, and like did things for money. But away from this,
I just ate food out of trash cans. Okay, Cold Stone Creamery, yeah.
Movie theaters, going to movies alone. That's where we were. Where you were specifically.
No, this is true.
Because if that's where we were, then you wouldn't have been alone by definition.
Maybe you were one theater over in the Cineplex secretly, and we just were ships passing in the night, Brad. Ships passing in the night.
Right. You were seeing Transporter 2, and I was seeing Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li.
Was that a real movie?
Yeah. And I saw it in theaters, and it was awful. But I went with friends, and we made fun of it, so it was okay.
Yeah, that's excellent, because Chronicles of Riddick, again, was a very lonely experience where I was very sad. Because fuck that movie. Fuck that movie so hard. Shit all over Pitch Black. I love Pitch Black.
Okay, so again, movie theaters, Cold Stone Creameries, Island. I think there was something else that you were going to say at some point.
Oh, I have no fucking clue.
Alright, well, whatever. So, Aqua Teen, Hunger Force, film for theaters.
Jumping into that. I am sad I didn't see it in theaters.
I didn't either. And the funny thing, too, is I'd planned with a bunch of friends to see it opening weekend. And I was sick and didn't end up going. And for some reason, every time I've talked about it with said friends, they're like, oh no, man, you were there. And I was like, no, definitively not. I was sick.
I remember vomiting and not seeing the film.
But it's just funny to me that other people have that story that, like, no, I was there. Like, I was there in spirit.
I've had that. I had an ex-girlfriend who insisted for years that I watched The Notebook with her. And I was like, I haven't seen The Notebook. I don't know what happens in The Notebook. We didn't watch it. Like, I don't know what's happening inside your mind. Yeah.
I like to think that I was part of some freak cloning accident. And then a clone for me sprang from the cloning machine fully formed. And I was just nauseous as, repercussion of being cloned. It makes perfect scientific reason.
The mind wipe and everything, puts your equilibrium out of balance. And oh god. But the clone knew where it belonged, which was in the theater
with my friends.
Seeing Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie film for theaters. That's still my favorite part of that is and always will be the Mastodon opening.
It's fucking excellent.
It
may be like hands down favorite movie opening like ever.
Wow.
Like it's got the humor, and it fucking pumps you up for what's to come.
Yeah,
like those two things. So like the only thing, again, I'm biased in part because I love comedy and I love metal. So the only other thing that like really comes close to me is the fucking Zombieland opening, which has the like montage of like zombies and people being
and like
wrecked
the people fleeing them and going down. Yeah.
To fucking For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica. It's just that's fucking works for me. Like, yes, everything. Yes, like this appeals to me. I want more of this.
Nice. Well, that totally makes sense. Like, I love it. It's definitely not my favorite intro of all time, but it might be my favorite animated film intro ever. My favorite intro of all time. I mean, nothing will ever beat the beginning of Lucky Number 11 for me. That's like my favorite scene in all of cinema is the beginning of that movie. But Aqua Teen is definitely up there on that list, which is funny.
And again, I mean, if you have no knowledge of this, you can either just fucking search up Aqua Teen movie opening or look up Mastodon cut you up with a linoleum knife.
Yeah. It deals with those people in the movie theater who you hate because
the undesirables.
The undesirables of the yes, the ones we wish to push down.
I did actually see Mastodon live, and I was really hoping that they would play "Cut You Up with a Linoleum Knife," but they didn't.
Oh,
evidently,
awesome.
Evidently, they've never played that live.
Oh.
Which has me a little bit sad because that song's so fucking good. But I mean, again, it is very much made specifically for that movie intro.
And you'd have to have like a bunch of dudes like come out in like giant foam suits of the characters and like do the whole fucking thing. And I mean, like, there might also be a licensing issue, I'm thinking. Just simply because, like, I don't know how that works.
Right. I wouldn't know, but I'd presume that they at least own a part of it, since they performed it, if not wrote it as well.
Yeah, that's very true.
But, interesting thing, too, I was looking up various cameos and shit, but the drummer from Mastodon was also in one of the episodes.
Really?
I don't remember which episode. I just was like on IMDb looking at shit, and I was like, okay, is Danzig that fucking episode, the first one,
Spirit Journey Formation Anniversary,
whatever the fuck it was,
the one where he gets
the first one with the cybernetic ghost of Christmas Past, right?
Oh God, no, yeah, no.
The elfin blood will flow from the graves for 1,000 years.
Unless you give of yourself to the great red ape in space. Okay, that's fine then. You know how much I gotta pay. Sexually. Yeah, I ain't doing that. I ain't getting humped by no ape.
You don't gotta move, Carl. You can do that other thing.
Oh, God.
But yeah. So their drummer was in a fucking episode, and also I don't know if you ever saw Kids in the Hall.
I did not.
But somebody from Kids in the Hall was in it. Scott Thompson, for those who actually saw and enjoyed Kids in the Hall.
Nice.
And it was weird because one of his recurring characters was a homosexual who was the very effeminate kind, and he actually ends up playing a female character when he guest stars on Aqua Teen.
Who did he play?
Dusty Gazongas.
Oh my God!
And like ever since then, like I've had like Scott's voice stuck in my head. It's been weird.
That's fantastic. That is
but,
almost phantasmagorical. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, and they also had George Lowe, like, just regularly does shit all over.
Yeah, he was another one that, like, along with Chris Ward, MC Chris, was, like, in a bunch of different shit for Adult Swim in general. I mean, the main thing that he did was Space Ghost. Yeah. Especially in Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Yeah.
He was also
Space Ghost in it.
Yeah, he was also Space Ghost in the fucking Aqua Teen movie. I don't know if you remember that bit where he gets fucking... I can just smell a missile.
But, I mean, they also got... Oh, God, I'm trying to remember... Because they don't actually show Geddy Lee, because they couldn't get Geddy Lee for the Spirit Journey Formation Anniversary, or whatever the fuck that episode is called. But who's the other guy? Because Ted Nugent is in the
I don't remember offhand. I'm sorry.
Episode. Fuck. God, that's Zach Wilde. Zach Wilde.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking
Wash Tub Bass. Which I enjoy. Well, it is just such a, like, you can tell that, like, I watched a bunch of the panels, like, of the guys doing it, that it is just like a squad of, like, 6 or 8 guys who are the core, who essentially hammer the show out and occasionally bring in buddies.
Right.
To do shit. Which
I fucking love. I mean, when you have a small, talented voice cast, and you can bring in random ass people to do voice, I mean, that's something I love about pretty much any show that I watch, and, like, instantly there's that, like, I know that voice, like, they were this person, they've done this and this and this, and, like, it makes me, like, love it that much more.
You've got your core squad.
Yeah. I was speaking more, like, specifically to a little bit to that, like, when you realize, oh, that's that character, but they're also doing that voice. But I was speaking more to, like, the guess of, like, holy shit, they got fucking, you know, Jonathan Frakes to...
Yeah. Frakes. Jonathan Frakes. By Jonathan Frakes, Jonathan Franks. There. Number 1. Sorry, that one took me a minute to figure out an actual joke there. I didn't have anything, and I was grasping at meaty straws.
Alrighty then, Patrick.
It does make me sad that, you know, they never got any Star Trek cameos on there, you know. I mean, any real show worth their salt, you know, they get LeVar Burton and, you know, Geordie LaForge, you know, get Brent Spiner. I mean, like,
they're not South Park the movie. I'm sorry.
Who wouldn't hire Brent Spiner?
A lot of people. Have you seen his fucking acting career?
That's very true.
His acting portfolio is way less filled out than it should be.
Yeah, he's fucking amazing, but I think also part of it is that apparently he is just, like, an absolutely, like, relentless fuck-around troll on set, and he's, like, a really nice guy, and he's really professional, like, when the camera is rolling, but the rest of the time is just dramatically unprofessional and, like, dicks around. So I mean,
people don't want to work with him.
Like, I feel like that might be part of it. I do know that he prank called Patrick Stewart's wife repeatedly, doing a Patrick Stewart impression. This is apparently a regular thing that he did.
I get pissed off at that.
Eventually, this is literally like, yes, darling, you know, I'm not going to be able to make it back from the set today. They just have so many extra scenes going, and I'm going to be stuck here for hours. And, like, gets busted every single time because, I mean, he does a good Patrick Stewart impression, but it's his wife.
Yeah.
And, you know,
it's one thing to be able to imitate a voice. It's another thing to understand, you know, the mannerisms, how they speak, and, like, how they act around certain people.
Yeah.
And, like, it's one of those things that, like, even when a voice is spot on, like, if you know the person well enough, you can totally tell when it's somebody else doing their voice.
Yeah. Because the cadence, like...
Right. Well, not only that, like, how you speak, like, you wouldn't say certain things to certain people.
Yes, that's... Okay, yes.
Is more what I was getting at.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. I mean, I say everything to everyone. I mean...
clearly.
Ugh. There were all these jokes about butt rape yesterday. I don't even know.
And we're back to hand banana.
Back to hand banana. Oh, man. But, I mean, I do definitely think that there's untapped gold in Aqua Teen that a lot of people haven't seen because you end up, you know, there's, again, like, a few seasons in the middle that I definitely felt were kind of mediocre.
For sure.
Like, I loved the whole Wong Burger series, like, all
Are you
the way
telling
to
me
the
I
end.
don't know Dick?
They are trained dick hunters. They crave dick, as do we all. I think they're just dicking around. But the, like, 2 follow-up episodes, too, I also thought were absolutely fucking, like, dead on, key, just choice-ass shit.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, I definitely understand, like, I mean, my mom's was never able to get her head around it, and, you know, I eventually got her to enjoy, like, she enjoyed Futurama pretty quickly. I eventually got her to enjoy, like, a decent amount of Family Guy and Metalocalypse and a couple other shows like that.
Yeah, at the end of the day, not all humor is for everyone. That's something that's pretty much a fucking universal truth.
Very true.
So, I mean, as much as I enjoy Adult Swim as a whole, and I enjoyed Aqua Teen, you know, there's things on Adult Swim that I wouldn't watch, or there's episodes of Aqua Teen that weren't as good, or people who I'd never even think to show the fucking show to.
Yeah, there's definitely that.
And, I mean, again, you know, back to saying that there are certain episodes that weren't as good. I mean, when you're on the air for as long as they were, when you have that many fucking episodes, 130, 139, whatever the fuck it was, you're gonna, just mathematically, you're gonna have a few that are not as good.
Yeah. Well, especially when you're doing that improvisational, off-the-cuff kind of stream of consciousness style, like you're gonna run into, you know, fat holes there. And, you know, like, I completely agree. Like, there's just chunks of comedy that are not for everybody. Like, I know that I just, like 2 days ago, I discovered Scott Kinison, or I was shown Scott Kinison.
Okay.
He's a stand-up comic from the 70s and 80s. It was a big influence for Joe Rogan.
Sam Kinison?
Might be Sam Kinison. Does he yell a lot?
I think it's Sam Kinison that you're thinking.
Yeah, I fucking hated him.
For sure.
Like, I made it like 10 minutes into one set, and I turned to my buddy who was showing him his price. Turned to him and was just like, dog, like, I really hate this. Like, I truly hate this. And, like, yeah, it's the thing is if comedy is bad, it is the worst thing ever. Like, it so quickly, like, ferments into crap for you.
Yeah, there are things
or
that, like,
something you don't like.
You realize that this is trying to be a joke, and it's just fucking painful.
Yeah. Or it just is a joke that falls flat for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Tatum, huge lover of Tim and Eric, awesome show, great job. And we had a number of debates back in the day where he truly loved the shit out of, like, every episode of that show. And we just differed. We just differed very, very strongly on that front.
Part of me has also wondered about the restaurant that exists that serves a meatball, some fries, and a shake.
What?
Think about it. They're not that I know about, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know of a restaurant that serves that, but they're all very much fast food / diner food.
I just realized there's a place where we could get it. Have you ever been to the Jollibee?
No.
It's a Filipino fast food chain.
Okay.
And instead of, like, one of their okay, number one, it is the most whacked out menu of all time. It's the only place that I've ever, like, been. You can get chili cheese spaghetti and as a side instead of fries and all kinds of weird shit like that. But yeah, they have spaghetti as one of their things, and I'm sure you could be like, give me one single meatball, a large fries, and a large milkshake, and also a juicy yum burger, and also a crispy chicken joy, which is actually the names of the chicken sandwich and hamburger.
But, like, to me, it was always the strangest cast, because, like, I know they're all food, and I know they're all related, but, like, they don't quite go together.
Yeah, like,
and I think that might be part of the joke, is that Meatwad is often the odd one out.
Very true.
You know, he's dysfunctional. He's got some issues.
Well, and Shake is really more of a Slurpee. Like, I think Frylock is kind of the only one who is directly as billed.
I don't know. There are times where, like, Shake does, like, straight up excrete Shake through his straw.
It's always, like, green and thick.
Doesn't matter. You can have, like, a mint smoothie or a mint milkshake.
I don't want your fucking shamrock shake. I don't need a shamrock shake. Okay, you make a point. Yeah.
I also wouldn't particularly want a green smoothie. I mean, I know they exist. I know that I've drunk them, but, like, if I want a fucking smoothie, I want fruit. Damn it.
No, this is true, and I'm on a similar. I appreciate the nutritional value of making all them veggies into that smoothie, but I don't want.
It's lies.
Yeah, I don't want a spicy smoothie. It's not a thing I'm into. It's not a thing I think a lot of people are into.
This is a celery and spinach curry smoothie.
I mean, like, and again, like, you know, I know people who enjoy it, but I'm always just kind of like, you could have made that into a salad.
I do always love that bit from fucking Grandma's Boy when they go to the vegan restaurant and they're like, oh man, there's no booze here. It's like, relax, fella, we do serve shots of wheatgrass. Yeah. Oh, that's great if you want to be sober and vomit.
Which is, I have to admit, there was a brief period of my life when I was like 14 when you
just pounding wheatgrass?
A shit ton of it, because it was like 75 fucking cents of Jamba Juice, and I was going into Jamba Juice with all these people I knew that wanted to go to the Jamba Juice, and I was like, I don't got like $5 to spend on a motherfucking Jamba Juice. I'm gonna get like 3 wheatgrass shots. That happened a lot.
For sure.
And I took a lot of these wheatgrass shots.
And that's how you grew up to be the man you are today, Patrick.
Big and strong.
A man that loves Aqua, a man that idolizes Carl.
Which is ironic, because I don't think Carl would be caught dead drinking wheatgrass. No. But I mean, it is actually decent if you mix it with vodka.
Really?
Kind of like Pepto-Bismol.
I might have to... Now I'm starting to not believe anything you say.
No, wheatgrass is actually decent mixed with vodka.
Okay,
Pepto-Bismol is still gnarly mixed with vodka, but you can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Sure, Patrick. Sure.
Oh, God.
Anyways.
Oh, God, I'm so lonely.
Whether or not there's more Aquatine, whether or not it sees a revival at some point, it's been a good 15 years.
It has, but...
And we thank you.
But Aquatine... never gonna get canceled.
Aquatine never gonna be dismantled. Aquatine
gonna be together.
Aquatine, hunger force forever.
Yeah. See, I truly believe these words. I do kind of hope that they knew they were getting canceled and were literally just like, fuck you when they made the
They knew halfway through, like I said, making the season.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think part of that was kind of a fuck you. And I mean, they did some weird stuff, like, without actually ending it. I mean, the season 2 finale was called The Last One.
Yes, it was.
The live action season finale for season 6
was
called The Last One Forever Part 1, which is also a dick move.
Yes, it is.
Then the penultimate episode, we think, from this season, because I think it's officially dead and gone, but they fucked with us once, they can fuck with us again, was called Aquatine, The Last One. Seriously, we fucking mean it. Fuck you.
Yeah,
the last one forever and ever. For real this time, we fucking mean it.
Yeah.
And then they had another episode after that, which was the greatest story ever told. Personally, I really wish that they would have ended it with the penultimate episode, because it's got such a great ending of characters disappearing, shall we say. And it's
interesting.
It's had characters leave before and previous episodes and then come back. So I was not like, this is set in stone, but it certainly felt final. And then the one character that remains kind of like goes on and lives his life and like ends up starting a family and has like this weird thing where he comes back.
Is it Carl? Is it Carl?
No.
It's Carl?
It's not Carl. But he goes on and he lives his life. You will love parts of the last episode, though.
I need to see it. I really, really need to see it.
Not the penultimate one. I think you'll enjoy the penultimate one, but the last episode has Highlander references and characters becoming immortal.
Excellent.
It's just...
Because the Highlander is a documentary whose events take place in real time. Thank you, Dana Snyder, for forever being pigeonholed as Master Shake because of this show.
Wasn't he the alchemist or whatever on Venture Bros?
Yes, and when he auditioned for the role, he did like 4 different voices. And they like literally got on the speaker into the booth and were like, "So could you just do Master Shake?"
Oh, that
and
sucks.
he did it, and they were like, "Yeah, that." And like Dana Snyder is like a real actor and can do lots of things.
Oh yeah,
and he's just only getting to do Master Shake.
Well, that happens when you get pigeonholed, and hopefully he'll be able to break out of that cycle at some point.
This is true. But thank you, Aqua Teen, for 15 years of memories, fluids, and failure. You're a part of my heart. Call me.
I think that'll about do it for us at another episode of TBD, which is, of course, as we like to remind you, stands for Two Big Dudes. Thanks for being with us again on this wacky ass journey. And to Aqua Teen, we salute you.